What's up YouTube, it's your boy GSC Shot, bringing guys a much anticipated video. I've been getting asked a lot of my streams, what settings am I running and what people need to change so they can be, playing their best and having the best settings in the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that to you guys. So to start it off, for graphic settings, if you can, run full screen. I'm a streamer, so I need to be able to access other things on my computer, so I have to run full screen borderless. Make sure your adapter is set to your graphics card. Make sure you have your computer set to the highest refresh rate, because I know a lot of times when people get a new monitor, their refresh rate is stuck at whatever the default setting is. And a lot of times when you come in here, people won't even realize that they're not even running their monitor at its like full potential. So make sure you guys got your refresh rates right and your NVIDIA settings or your display settings on your computer, so you're running it where it's supposed to be. Make sure your resolution is to 100. It'll still be 100 whether you're on a 4K monitor, a 1080p monitor, a 1440p monitor. It'll still be 100. Rolling down a little bit, for brightness I have that set to 55. Usually around 55 to 60 is a good mark to where you want to be. NVIDIA highlights, turn that off. Not really necessary unless you need to clip some plays or something like that, but most people can do that with OBS or some other software, so it's not really necessary to run. For NVIDIA Reflex low latency, if you have a RTX graphics card, put this to enabled. If you have a GTX or older graphics card, put it to enable plus boost. Moving on, cancel that card. For the field of view, I run 120 field of view. It's personally up to you what you run, but I run to have, or be able to see the most of the map that I can see. So I'm definitely gonna crank this bad boy up to 120. The camera movement, put that at least. Streaming quality, some people prefer performance, but I like to keep it on normal because I want to be able to see things clearly and have good performance at the same time. So if you are just trying to crank it up and having the max performance, just turn it down to low, but I personally run normal. Texture resolution, we have that on very low. Texture filter anisotropic, we have that on high, so we can get those little details and be able to see things clearly. It's not always about having the most amount of frames. Sometimes it's about being able to clearly see some things, because if you can't see something but it's on your screen, what are you doing? you got 200 frames a second, but you can't see them, so you're not getting nothing there. So that's always something to keep in mind. Particle quality, I can really just keep scrolling. You guys can just look at my settings, and most of this stuff I have disabled or low. Make sure you have filmic strength all the way to 1. DLSS, turn that off. Anti-aliasing, I have this to SMAA 1 times, or you can have it to off. I personally prefer SMAA 1 time, because I obviously stream and I want to be able to see things a little bit more clearly. Like I said, I like to be able to see things, and also have good performance. That's why I'm not cranking it all the way up to filmic SMAA T2X, so I definitely don't want that. So off or the SMAA 1 time will be good enough for you. That's just personal preference, but me, I run this. Depth of field, turn that to disabled. Nobody wants motion blur on. If you have that on, I do not know why you have that on. Turn that off. You do not need it. It is not helping you. You can have that on for a campaign or something, but no, we don't need that on Warzone. Like I said, everything else is low, but you do want to have the cast spot shadows and the cast sun shadows turned to enable. That just helps the game and the memory, render things quickly, because it's already, happened before. What else? Colorblind setting. That's I don't personally use colorblind setting, but you know, some people do. Some people just, you know, like the way it looks, or some people it helps them. Like, if you need that, turn it on, but I do not run that. Make sure you guys, for your HUD, for the horizontal and vertical, make sure this is up to 1, so it brings it in to where like your ammo count and all that is closer to the middle of your screen rather than the outside of your screen, because you want to be, it's those little fractions or milliseconds of time really make a difference in a certain situation. You might not notice it, but it definitely helps. So you want to have your HUD all the way close in, as close as you can get it, so you can see those things quickly and don't have to, you know, use any extra eye movement. The mini map, make sure you have this to square. As you can see in this picture, if you have it on circle, it's cutting off these edges and cutting off your ability to see the rest of the map. You know, you need to be able to see everything, so definitely change that bad boy to square and do not run circle. Mini map rotation, have that enabled. Show the compass. A lot of people don't even really like pay attention to it, but when people shoot on the compass, it'll tell you exactly, you know, what direction there is. So sometimes you might want to think about that when you're playing. Definitely have show compass on. Don't turn that off. Kill feed duration. When you're playing squads or trios or something like that, and you know, you might be in a gunfight with a whole, like me, I play aggressive, so I might be fighting a whole team. So you definitely want to make sure you have it to at least the 10-second, but I prefer 20 seconds, because I may about to wipe a whole squad and I'm thinking that I done got, you know, 3 or 4 people down and I'm 1 short. And this having the kill feed duration, it helps you be able to check to make sure how many people you have killed or eliminated in the squad, to make sure you actually, you know, got that team wipe, because you don't want to be looking crazy thinking that you done wiped the whole team and there's one more dude waiting on you, or one more dude that redeployed or something like that. So definitely keep that in mind. What else do we got here? These the system interface settings are personal preference. I have show the FPS, the system latency, and packet loss. I know a lot of people pretty much run all of these, but for me, I just need to see these top 3 because those are the most important to me. And what else? Moving on to audio. Boost high is the preference of pretty much everybody at this point. Boost high is the best audio mix that you can possibly run right now. I'm not sure if they're going to add some later, because I did hear they're doing some footstep changes coming pretty soon. So definitely make sure you're running boost high. The massive out, you do not need to have that to 100. I have it on 85, as we can see here. Dialogue, I don't like to hear the in-game voices too loud, because sometimes, you know, you might be in a situation and it might be calling out airstrikes and there's somebody right on you and you need to hear those footsteps. So I try to turn the dialogue volume down. I mean, if you want to hear it, you can, but that's just me. I don't want that any extra noise. The game already has enough stuff going on, so if I can turn something down to be able to hear people footsteps, or, you know, hear somebody shooting somewhere, I'm definitely all for that. Now for the part that everybody is pretty much here for, the controller setting. This is the one I get asked about so much, so here you guys go. For the Deadzone, the input for the Deadzone, do not use my controller settings for this certain setting. This is for your controller specifically. Do not run what I run. Your controller is going to be different than mine. I play a lot, so my controller may be a little bit more worn out than yours. The Deadzone, that just stops you from having thumbstick drift. If you ever notice your controller or your analog sticks having a slight movement on the game, like you're turning or you're walking like at a real like slow inchy type of pace and you're not touching the sticks, that's because you have thumbstick drift. If you're having that, then you want to increase these levels until it stops. You want to have it at the lowest point possible until that thumbstick drift stops. So right now, this is what I'm at. If you're at like 15 or something like that and you're having thumbstick drift, it may be time for you to switch that control out and get a new one if you can. If you can't, then just try to increase it till it stops. But if you're at that mark of like 15 and getting closer to 20, your controller is pretty much at that point of no return. I'm sorry to let you guys know that, but I have had more than enough controllers for anybody, and I can tell you, once that controller starts getting up to this point, it's yeah, time to let that thing go. But for the max input, definitely turn this to 99. Right now I changed my settings a lot, but for the past few months I have been running 7.7 consistently, and this right here has actually, I've been changing this a lot lately, but I think I changed it yesterday. It's actually supposed to be on 0.75. That's what I have been running for the past few months. I was feeling like my shot wasn't too great yesterday, so I moved it up a little bit. You know, it's, you never want to really be stuck in the same place. If something feels off, you might want to adjust it a little bit to, you know, help you out. It may be, you might be having an off day, you might need a little bit more movement, a little bit less. So definitely do not get stuck on one setting. Move to what, you know, feels most comfortable for you, but you do want to stay consistent, not, you know, try to change it too much or too often. Then you really can't get used to a certain setting. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I am running 7.7 right now and 0.75. That is my go-to for now. The aim response curve, I have that on dynamic. Everybody's gonna tell you that. Nobody's really running anything else. Some people might run linear, but it's a very select few. Dynamic is the way to go. Controller vibration, turn that off. Don't have controller vibration on ever, because it's gonna, when the controller vibrates, is, you know, it's gonna move your thumbs whether you notice it or not, but it's definitely not a good thing to run that. Aim assist, have that on standard. Have this scale aim assist with field of view, have that disabled. For mounting, I have that on ADS plus melee. And scrolling on down here, I guess you guys can just look here and change it to what I have. The contextual tap, you definitely want to have this on, so when you like trying to pick up ammos, guns, you just gotta tap. You don't gotta hold, you don't gotta do none of that extra stuff. It just quick, fast, and you can get on to the next thing. Right here, this is a big one, the armor plate behavior. You definitely want to have this on apply all, so when you see somebody or one of your, you know, your favorite streamers or players, when they're running around and the plates are just automatically going on as they're moving, is because they have apply all on. That is a key thing, and if you need to stop it, you can just YY or triangle if you're on PlayStation, but definitely put apply all on, and that will definitely help you out and save you some time, and a lot of times help you in some gunfights, because you got some plates on and didn't have to worry about putting on plates while you were trying to run. Slide behavior, have that on tap. Tactical sprint, have that on single tap from sprint. You want to have auto tactical sprint on, and yeah, I think that about wraps it up here, guys, for the Warzone settings for season 3. I know we have season 3 Reloaded coming out today, so I'm very excited for that, and I want to get you guys the best settings that have you guys out here tearing folks up in these lobbies. I really appreciate you guys for checking out today's video, and do not forget to hit that sub button. Make sure you guys hit that like button and turn on notifications so you know when I stream, post these YouTube video shorts, and all that good stuff. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys all for the support. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much, and GG.